Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Well, thanks for being Up+Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. I know, a Saturday post. This is publishing on Saturday. Crazy. We couldn't fit in a Friday show. But then I had this interview that I did early on Friday. And when I was talking to the people, you're going to meet them today, they need this to publish before Sunday because they're part of the Easterseals Film Challenge. You'll get all of this in a second. It'll all make sense. So for them to get credit for this media appearance, it needs to publish. So I couldn't wait till Monday to post this. So I really enjoyed the three folks we're talking to. And I really wanted to make this happen and do what I could for them. It's a great conversation. Look, what they did was built in 5 days, but it hits like something that took a lifetime to understand. It's a film called I Will Be Fine, created for the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge. Pulls back the curtain on what it really means to say those words that we all use, sometimes to comfort others, sometimes to convince ourselves, right? Director Bettina Someros-Ching, alongside Steven Charles Ching and Angela Alarcon, didn't just make the film, they built a community in real time with volunteers, real heart, and a clock that never stopped ticking. What happens when you put pressure, purpose, and people together like that? Oh man, you get something raw, something honest, and something that makes you stop and think, wait, am I actually fine? Or am I just saying it? From global talent to Central Coast roots, this story is really cool. It's about trust, letting go, and learning that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is ask for help. Coming up next, we're going to talk to the people behind the film and the moment where fine became something much more real. Also, we'll talk to Robin Coleman, Woods Humane Society, a pet of the week. Excited to share with you my friends at the Mountain Air. They sponsor Up+Adam. And, in a place like SLO, you don't last very long unless you're doing something right, unless you're real. And the Mountain Air, they've been doing something right since 1975. Right there on Marsh Street, they've helped generations of locals get outside at all skill levels, hiking, camping, climbing, even headed to the snow, whatever it is. And what I love, it is very local, hyper local. It's started by a guy named Wayne Patterson, now owned by Josh and Lindsay Herring. Had him on last week. If you didn't hear that interview, you got to get to know this couple. They're fantastic. And you feel that warmth and that authenticity when you walk in. It's not transactional like, the big box version of what they do with 3 letters around the hill. People, they know what you need. Even if you don't quite know how to ask for it yet, they got you. Check out the Mountain Air. Also, just down the way from them, their sister store called The Switchback. It's where you can buy and sell used gear. So your stuff gets another shot. Pretty cool. This is what local advertising is all about. If you stop by, please let them know that you heard them on Up+Adam. Go grab something there from our friends at the Mountain Air. Again, say you heard them on Up+Adam. And thank them, not just for keeping it local with who they serve, but keeping it local with the dollars that they earn. They're supporting us. It's incredible. So we love them. The Mountain Air, San Luis Obispo.
It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, these guys, they didn't just make a film. They built something under pressure with real purpose. I Will Be Fine is a short film created in just 5 days for the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge. And it's already carrying a message that goes way beyond the screen. From director Bettina Someros-Ching to lead actor and producer Steven Charles Ching, alongside with actress, model, and associate producer Angela Alarcon, who brings a global audience into this intimate story. Steven and Bettina are from Atascadero. This team came together with trust, community in mind, and a shared belief that sometimes the simplest words can hold the deepest truth. So excited to welcome them on. Bettina, Steven, Angela, so good to have you. Thank you for being Up and Adam.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
This is great. Bettina, Steven, Angela's there. I love it. You know, let me ask you guys, because there's something wild about creating under the clock, right? 5 days to write, shoot, edit, score. Most people need 5 days just to think of an idea. When you compress creativity into 5 days like this, what version of yourselves shows up in the most raw, honest, or maybe the most chaotic form, you know?
You know what? I'm going to start this one off, and I guess we're just going to get real personal right from the beginning. So you brought up a great point, because let's just start at the end, right? So we're here at editing for submission, and we are about 1 hour away from the due date, from the due time slot. We have my assistant director in our house with us, my sound guy, who's also the assistant director's husband, and then Bettina and I, who are working together on the edit. And you just have
We're married.
And we're all, well, we're not all married together, but we're all married to our partner. But you just have high stakes energy, and the conversations, they get really, 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 let's just say efficient, right? So we've got times here where I'm just talking to Bettina, like, what do you want? What do you want me to do here? Okay, this, okay, no, clarify. I don't understand. Do it. It's like, if you ever watched The Bear or The Pit, I have never watched The Pit, but I assume it's a similar environment. It's just quick. It's like stab, so we can get it done. And at the end of it, once it was all done, we had a chance to like decompress. Like you just feel like your mind melts away, and we've all finally get to go at ease. But to answer your question, I feel like this brings out the best and the worst, but at the fundamental basis of it all, it's amazing that, you know, we get to also know that it's not personal, and we're all doing it because we care about this project. I mean, and I think Angela got firsthand experience. She was kind of quiet the whole time while we were all hopping up there.
She's like our only child.
By being calm and all that, but also I was part of the crunch time, especially towards the end, because I was also helping with the Polaroid edits in terms of the end credit scene and in terms of like the captions. So it was like really crunch time, and we're just all like crunch time and like all trying to keep our cool, but eventually all worked out well. So
yeah, we're still friends. We still love each other. That's what we remind ourselves too.
Nothing personal.
Now, I will be fine. It's kind of one of those phrases we say out loud, sometimes to reassure others, sometimes to reassure ourselves. What does that phrase actually mean inside this film, Bettina? Hope, denial, resilience, something more complicated? What is it?
I love that you said resilience. That's one of the things that I love and hate, because as immigrants, as Filipinos, like it's something that always is used to describe our culture. So like for us, I think it's hard to deny it, but it's really part of it. Being resilient, being just manifest it until it happens. And also like it's a good line. It's a good title to have, to just keep saying to yourself, because like we use that phrase lightly and not really internalize it so much, but when you do, you start to remember that no matter what happens, if you're with the right community, if you're with your friends, your family, you will be fine. And that's a term that's a phrase that we want to keep promoting, because especially with the cause of this all, being a representation or like a film that represents the disability community. It's a term that we want to share and impart and hopefully manifest for everyone, especially for people with disability, to just claim it. Like ask for help, ask for help from your community. And if you need help, ask it and you will be fine.
Was there a moment, Steven, during filming where you realized this is not just a title anymore, this is far more personal?
Yeah, it hit me when we were picking up craft services donated by one of our good friends, Shirley and Steven Sigmund. And as we were driving up, this was like the day before production. And I was just thinking like, wow, this is amazing. Like I started making movies when I was 8 years old with my family camcorder. And I recorded over some really important memories that I wish I didn't, because it ended up becoming the Steven show right after someone's birthday. And but to think that I've come from that point in my life where I was imagining this all with one camera, and now I get to work with 30 people on this film, and everyone's just volunteering after work, all their free time to do this. It just got me in a choke. Like I was tearing up like on the drive, because it's amazing. And the fact that I used to be like a one-man band. Like I would do camera, directing, everything, because I could do it. Like you could do everything, but the thing is, like, why would you when you don't have to? You have people who are excited to be there for you. And that was the moment I was like, wow, I can let go. I can let go of control, and I trust these people that I'm surrounded by. And I know I will be fine doing this movie, because I have so much amazing talent. And at that point, it's amazing, because you get to just have fun now. Now I can be an actor and a producer rather than actor, producer, camera, editing, sound, blah, 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 everything.
Angela, let me ask you, when you approach this film, how intentional were you about not just really telling a story, but also kind of correcting a narrative? Because this Disability Film Challenge really exists because for so long, stories were told kind of about people, not with them.
Yeah, so honestly, like our main goal was honestly to really impart and encapsulate the bayanihan in terms of like community building and, asking for help. And it doesn't have to be just, isolating yourself as a person with disabilities. So what we wanted to impart in this film is to really establish community and to always seek for help and not feel like a burden to anyone or everyone else. And yeah, you can carry everything on your own, like what Steven said, but also it doesn't mean that you have to. So I'm just really grateful and hopeful that, we were able to impart that kind of message to everyone in terms of like how we wanted it, and to really just raise awareness in terms of, building a community and not put yourself into isolation, and yeah, just, form something healthy in terms of like relationships when dealing with people with disabilities as well. And yeah, we're just really grateful, and we're happy to impart that message to everyone.
I don't know if our viewers here in the States understand or know this yet, but Angela is actually not just our actor and producer in this film, but she actually has a pretty strong career in the film industry. And I think it'd be great to know too, like, and I've never really asked this, but why did you decide to work on this project, and where did you come from, if you can introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm an actress in the Philippines. I do a lot of modeling work also and content creating. I'm also a host also in my home country, but also this is my first time doing a producer debut, and I've always wanted to be, to work behind the cameras as well. And when I was offered the opportunity by Bettina and Steven to be a part of this production, I immediately said yes, because, we've all manifested to be working together and to create something really impactful to our audience, not just locally in the States, but also globally, since our audience is really, our market is really wide. So we wanted to impart a really big message that will really be insightful to everyone and that will really leave a mark for everyone. And I said yes instantly because I knew that the project will be, impactful and, has a lot of substance that will really help a lot of people. So yeah, there's no doubt I would, jump in right away. And especially with Steven and Bettina, I've known them for a long time. We've been really good friends, and I know how their work ethics are truly, and I trust them when it comes to their passion. So there's no doubt that 100% I would, say yes to this project. So yeah, I don't care about, the work and all that, even if it's, about juggling multiple things at once. But when it comes to this passion project, I'm all down. So yeah.
So rad, and Stephen was right on it, because I was literally going to ask you next. Like, you have this massive following, global audience, and now you're here in SoCal working on something intimate, fast, but deeply human. And I'm curious, like, Angela, like, what shifts for you as an artist when you go from performing for millions to kind of creating something this close, this personal?
Yeah. So honestly, it wasn't really big of a shift, but it was more of like learning what really happens behind the scenes more than, just presenting yourself and just being focused on your lines, your performance and all that. But I really enjoyed the process when it comes to what really happened behind the scenes. For example, like the meetings, organizing, storytelling, when it comes to, connecting to a lot of our crew members, sending out forms, and just the planning in general. There's really like color in that, because honestly, just people all see the end result, but they don't really appreciate what happens behind the scenes. So being a part of that process, that journey for me was more impactful, honestly. So yeah, having been able to balance both of that kind of job really was a rewarding experience for me. So that's why I'm really truly grateful, and I'm a loss of words because of how grateful I am for having managed to do both positions. So yeah, really wonderful experience.
Bettina, directing in this invisible, it's kind of like this invisible leadership role, directing, right? Everyone sees the film, but they don't always see the emotional weight behind guiding it. And I'm curious, like, how do you carry the responsibility of telling a story that represents something bigger than just this film itself?
That question, I was just saying that question just gave me chills because, it's my first time hearing that question. So thank you for asking that. And like, yes, there's a lot of weight on my shoulders, especially like knowing that all our crew are all volunteers and they're putting so much work into it. Angela flew in from Vegas. We have people from Sacramento, from the Bay Area, even a pro skater, Coco. He did a cameo in the film. He drove his friend drove him from Burbank on the same day to get to SLO just to be in that 5-second cameo. So for me, the burden, it's not even a burden, the weight of the whole production, I really feel it, like it's just not for me, but Steven too, as the main producer of this film. But being a director for this film is such a rewarding job that I had to take on, and especially that we're telling my husband's story. Like in all the interviews, when they ask me to introduce myself, I always say that first and foremost, I am Steven's wife, and the director part comes after that. And just being able to tell his story in this creative way where people really put their hearts into is a big responsibility for me, because I'm not only upholding my husband's story, but also the hearts, the sweat, and all the resources and time that our whole crew has been putting on it. Like Steven and I always talk about it, like we're not paying them, we're only paying them with food and this really cool hat. But like the way they work like we've been paying them $1 million a day because of the amount of hard work they put into it. And that really kept Steven and I pushing. Steven and I edited this film too and made sure that we have an amazing film. And that's why we're here at Up+Adam, to make sure that everyone can see it, because our team really put their everything into this film and everybody needs to see this.
5 days, Steven, no time for ego, no time for overthinking, just instinct, trust. What did you learn about each other in the process? Maybe you couldn't have learned in any other way.
I've known this before, but the thing is, it just reaffirms like how much I trust I have like with my wife, that if I have an issue, if I have a goal, if I have a vision, I trust that she knows how to execute, but also how to do it in a way that's classy, how to do it in a way that looks amazing, how to do it in a way that makes people feel good at the end of it. Because at the end of the day, like as Bettina says, everyone's volunteering. These are our friends and our family who are helping us out. And the least we can do is hopefully just provide them a good vibe at the end of the day and feel proud of what they do. It's just really reassuring. And like after all of that, it just really just affirms how much trust I have in Bettina, and also the people that I've entrusted these really key roles in. Like we had meetings, we had practically meetings every day coming up to 2 months before the project, before the 5 days. So if you say 5 days, it's 5 days plus 2 months of meetings before, and then all these other meetings afterwards. But it just makes me proud and affirms like how much amazing everyone operates. And once you put your full trust in people and let them do their magic, like they can really impress you if you just let go of some of that control.
Let's talk about this film challenge. How long is the film? Where do people find it?
Yeah, so you can find it in the Easterseals Film Disability Facebook page and YouTube channel. So it's both streaming on those platforms. And we'll really appreciate if you guys drop your insights, your comments, your shares, and all those likes as well. And also, we're also on Instagram and Facebook if you want to keep tabs on our social media accounts. We are at iwillbefine.mp4, and we'll be posting more of our updates on there. But please stream our videos and films on Facebook and YouTube.
She's also our social media manager.
Yes.
Like on top of that, Angela has been creating amazing behind the scenes content, by the way. And that alone is already worth the follow on Instagram and Facebook. Like you get to see behind the scenes, and on top of that, the fun content that she's got us doing. Like she made us do some really silly dances that I would normally never do. But I'd say that alone is worth a check.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, we'll put all the links to the exact link that we want for the YouTube screening. We'll put all the links to Angela, Steven, Bettina, all the socials, the Instagram for the movie itself. We'll put all that in the show notes so people can just be like a click away and it's at their fingertips. When do we know, Bettina? Do we know like how it goes, who wins,
100%. I was actually just sending that to Angela not too long ago, but so we'll know the finalists on May 3rd, and this time it'll be extra special because they will be partnering with Newport Beach Film Festival, and that's where they're gonna announce it. And on May 7th, and we're manifesting that we'll get nominated. That's gonna be the main orange carpet event at Sony Pictures in LA. So fingers crossed that our friends will help us get there.
We're here for you, Central Coast.
I love this. This is really exciting. What you guys did is really exceptional. And I've just loved getting a chance to meet the three of you. This has been a really, really fun conversation. Steven, Bettina, Angela. I've really enjoyed it.
I love it. This is awesome.
This is fun.
Well, let's have you on again. I'd love to follow up and congratulate you. I would wish you luck, but that is not fair to people that need it. I think you guys are going to be fantastic. And I'll follow you. I want to follow you guys all. So look for my follow on the socials as well. Okay, guys?
That's
You'll
awesome.
get a follow back, man. Thank you so much. It was cool hanging out with you.
All right. Appreciate all you. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam, friends.
See you later, Up and Adam fans.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right. What an incredible chat. All the links to the film, Facebook, YouTube, all of their Instas. It's already at your fingertips now in the show notes. Check it out. Really enjoyed meeting them, and I cannot wait to talk to them again. They were good. Wasn't that fun? All right. Robin Coleman. She's my favorite part about finding forever homes for dogs, even cats. The work she does is so, so good. I appreciate you more than you know, Robin. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Good morning, Adam. How are ya?
I'm wonderful. How is your week?
The week's going good. They're just flying by. April is a busy month, as you've heard me talk about every week. So yeah, it's just, it's a good week, but busy week. But I will say it's been a little quieter here at Woods. You know, we're usually really busy with adoptions, but we've been a little bit slow. We're doing like 1 or 2 adoptions a day, which is not enough for us. So we need people to come in and adopt these sweet animals. So I'm gonna beg and plead today.
Well, we can't have that. Not you begging and pleading, but we can't have a slow day at Woods. We have, you guys, I think you're only open for 4 hours a day, and normally you're getting like bunches of people coming in there adopting these dogs and cats. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. What do we got today?
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to tempt you with an adorable girl named Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe she's the one for you. She is a 12-year-old Maltese princess, 9 pounds. She is house trained. She rides in a car well. She just got a dental procedure performed, so we've taken care of that. She's lived around dogs. She's been around cats. She is a dream dog. The only thing I will will say about her is she really just doesn't want to be alone. So I think she'd be great for somebody who's retired, maybe works from home. She's been going home with one of our team members and then during the day in her office. And even when she like pops out to the copy machine or something, she puts her in a little sling. So she's just going around woods, hallways, offices, into medical, just hanging out with her. So she will be your Velcro dog. She wants to be by your side. She loves going out for leash walks, but more than anything, she needs a person, a lap, someone to be with, and she is just as cute as it gets.
Yeah, really cute dog. Very precious. The little bows in the ears.
That should be her name.
I know. Maybelline's pretty good though. Even has like the real like almost like a little prissy smile and eyes that go with it. Like this dog's got it all.
She does have a grin. Yeah, she does have a grin. I will say those bows, she did go to the groomer and they did such a good job and she looked so adorable. The photo team grabbed a quick photo and about 2 seconds later, she shook those bows right out of her hair. So she is up on Instagram, up on Facebook. You have to check out this adorable dog. I know someone is going to just love to come in and fall in love with our girl Maybelline. Again, she's up on Instagram, Facebook. You can share her video, tag your friends. This is the perfect lap dog for somebody.
I love it. What a cute dog. We got Wine for Paws coming up around the corner. Lots of things working lately.
Yes, and you know, we've been talking Wine for Paws. It is coming up April 25th, 26th. But what just came up on the website, and I'm excited to share, is the Wine for Paws map. So this is a map that you can literally look and plan. You can pick the different areas around the county that work for you. There's a whole list on the backside of every participating winery, and there's 4 or 5 brand new wineries. So go check out the map. It's up on our website, but also the Wine for Paws website, and that's www.wine4paws.com. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the great wineries participating in the next couple weeks. I can't believe it's just a few weeks away, Wine for Paws weekend.
Yeah, you know, and I'm looking at this map right now, and it just goes to show you the work and the support that, you know, you guys have put in, Sarah and her team has put in, and then the results, which, you know, this wine community we have here is just so incredible. Wines from Santa Margarita, Slow, A-Town, Cambria, Morro Bay, small little pockets like Tin City, and then you look downtown Paso, there's a dozen there, and then all of Paso wine country, you know, as far north as Pianeta to southwest side Turley. I mean, it's crazy.
There's no excuse. You cannot blame gas prices. You cannot, like, there's something near you that you can go and grab a few bottles of wine. You know, maybe you want to get some gifts for people. You have an event coming up. You have some birthdays or anniversaries. What is better than supporting a local amazing winery right here on the Central Coast and also helping homeless cats and dogs at Woods? It's a fun weekend. People planned like the whole weekend. They have an itinerary. Where are they going in the morning? Where are they going to go for lunch? Where are they ending their day? They get friends together, you know, double dates, families, whatever you do. Wine for Paws weekend. And thank you to Sarah Tomasetti for this beautiful brainchild of hers that allows us to raise much needed funds. You know, I've been talking about so many puppies here, so many kittens. We brought in more babies this week. We have senior pets. We have animals of all ages. And it takes a lot of resources to do what we do here at Wood. So we need these fundraisers. We need these events to be successful. So please think about supporting Wine for Paws this April coming up in just a few weeks.
Yeah, you know, I started an audio book that I thought you would be really interested in. It's called Your Dog Is Your Mirror. And it's really interesting. It's really interesting. It's the emotional capacity of our dogs and ourselves. And it's really good. It's like this kind of, this author kind of proposes this like radical model for understanding dog behavior and emotion. And it's really cool. Like the dog, it says the dog doesn't respond to its owner based on what the owner thinks, says, or does. It responds to what the owner feels. And in this way, dogs can actually put people back in touch with their own emotions. It's a really interesting, you know, listen. So, I mean, I like to listen to books rather than read them.
I mean, Yeah, I love that stuff, and I'm a big believer of that. And I practice animal Reiki. I don't know if people know what that is, but it's like energy work, kind of like a deep meditation practice, and it's hands-free. It's not. I'm a certified animal Reiki practitioner, so it's really about connecting them. You didn't know that, huh?
I knew you did Reiki, but I didn't know you did it on dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't mess with the people. My energy is all towards helping the animals. I know people will be like, can you do Reiki on me? I'm like, no, I save it all for the animals in need. So yeah, it's all about connecting energetically. And, your dogs know what you're feeling. They know when you're a little out of sort. And that is what Reiki is. It's just like, it's connecting with them. So I might have to join you in this read. I've read articles about that before, but I have not done the book.
So when you're talking about, like, there was that one guy I met at Wiggle Waggle last year where he just does these like really like I wouldn't even call it like massage but it was like these really intentional like things down, like he was doing down Harvey's spine, and Harvey, who's normally like skittish and weird around people, he was just like transfixed on the way this felt down his spine. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's onto something. But he was at one of the booths.
Oh, Adam, this could be a whole podcast. There's ways that you can touch dogs. There's light touch. There's on the surface of their skin.
Wow.
There's certain pressure points. Like, this is why I love animals and dogs so much. Like they benefit so much from massage, from touch, from talking to them. I never walk by a dog and not acknowledge them. I always say something to them. I mean, and they wait for that, especially here at the shelter. Like they're just desperate for attention, connection. That's what this life is all about, connection, whether it's with people, with pets, with purposes. So yeah, we'll have to dig more into this, Adam, but I love this. I love this topic, as you know.
Yeah. The best. All right, Robin Coleman, What's Humane Society, what'shumane.org. Yeah, you know me. Thank you so much, Robin, for all the good work you do. Much love. See you next weekend at Rose the Slow Way. Yeah.
Woo!
And
oh my God.
Thank you for I can't wait. Thanks for being Up and Adam, Robin.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, get into the rest of this weekend. To Patrick and Quinn, the best wedding ever happening today at the Madonna Inn. It's okay, I said that, right? It's going to be a lot of fun. A Saturday edition of Up and Adam. This is kind of fun. Who knows? All right, thanks to our friends Moonshiner Collective for original music on the show. Start again. Stream them wherever you get your music. Of course, moonshinercollective.com. How about Josh and Chiasa Clapper, our friends at Timbre Winery, giving us the Lowbro Studios. Timbre Winery, Timbre, timbrewinery.com. Taste their wines in the Village of Arroyo. I can't roll the Arroyo. It's kind of a fake roll. Arroyo Grande. My dad is listening right now, just like putting his head in his hands. Sorry, Opa. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We're back Monday. Great shows coming up this week. Super pumped about them, and I can't wait to connect with you again. Till then, I'm Adam Montiel. Thank you for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start